Welcome, everybody, to High and Tight, a part of the Sports Wars YouTube network, part of geeksandgamers.com. I'm your host, Brandon Andreessen, and we're here with a special video this week because the hot stove isn't just hot anymore, baby. It is flaming hot. We've had two huge trades in the past day, and let's go over them for you real quick. Just this morning, the Padres announced that they have traded Brad Hand and Adam Cimber to the Cleveland Indians for Francisco Mejia. Brad Hand is probably the biggest name for all you casual fans out there. He was an all-star this year and has 24 saves for the San Diego Padres, even though the Padres have approximately 18 wins. It's pretty impressive. Adam Cimber is a rookie reliever with a funky submarine arm action and a 5-to-1 strikeout-to-walk ratio this season. He's mostly a righty specialist, though. Righties have batted only .207 against him this year. Lefties have batted .288 on the other hand. So he's going to be a specialist out of the bullpen for the most part for the Indians. Brad Hand, his ERA is the highest it's been since about 2015, but he still gets strikeouts. He still gets outs. He signed to a pretty relatively friendly deal through the 2021 season. At about $7 million per year. He's got a club option buyout after 2020 in case he sucks for about $1 million. So it's not a huge financial risk on the Indians' end, but the potential help that it gives them, all you got to do is go back to the video I did on Tuesday where I made the Indians the number 5 team in my power rankings in spite of their trash-ass bullpen. Well, guess what? Adding Brad Hand, adding Adam Cimber to the bullpen to go along with Cody Allen and Andrew Miller, that fortifies things in a big way. You get 6 innings out of your starting pitching, all of a sudden you have a very, very difficult bullpen to go through if you're an opposing team. This isn't for this year, regular season at least. The AL Central is bad on a historic level. 2 of the most garbage teams in baseball are in the Royals and the White Sox are in the division, and the Detroit Tigers are damn near as garbage as they are. The division is historically bad. There's a very good chance by the end of August, the Cleveland's already going to have the division wrapped up. This is for October. This is a deep postseason run. You need 4 shutdown relievers in that bullpen to get from your pitching staff, to get from Corey Kluber to the end of the game. Cleveland has that now. They have fortified their biggest weakness. That's a huge deal. For the Padres, they get a guy who Keith Law just today named the number 5 prospect still in the minors. He can play catcher, third base, or corner outfield. My guess is that eventually he moves off catcher. Austin Hedges is already the catcher in San Diego, and even though he can't hit to save his life, he's a great defensive catcher. It's all going to depend on what metrics the Padres believe in. And if they want to keep his knees good, they do. You move him to third base, move him to corner outfield. He'll be fine. He's been on a tear since June 1st this season. He's batting .391. Let me repeat that because I said it right the first time. .391 with 4 home runs and 15 doubles. That's maybe he's just not a cold weather player. As the weather's heated up, so is he. Apparently, everyone's a big believer in him that prognosticates on prospects. All things considered, for 2 relief pitchers, it's a 2-for-1 deal, but the one they got, that's the kind of move if you're the Padres, you absolutely have to make 10 times out of 10 to make your team better down the road. It's called tanking. You have to do it sometimes, but they have Fernando Tatis Jr. down in the minors. They have Mejia. Both have come via trades over the past couple seasons. The Padres are building their team the right way. Hopefully within the next 2 to 3 years, we're going to see a contending team out of them. And that can contend possibly with the Los Angeles Dodgers in the NL West. Speaking of the Dodgers, yesterday ended the Manny Machado race by trading Yusniel Diaz, Dean Kramer, Zach Pop, Rylan Brennan, and Breivik Valera to the Baltimore Orioles to get the all-star shortstop. After an up-and-down 2016 season, Machado is right back where he was in 2015-2016 when he was a downvote MVP candidate. He's got 24 home runs this year, 21 doubles with a .315 batting average. He's going to step in and take over in the gap where Corey Seager lost when he went down for the season with a Tommy John surgery. The Orioles, they get what they get. This is kind of what the Orioles deserve. They should have traded Manny Machado last year at the trade deadline when guys were available like Gleyber Torres, Probably Mejia was available at that point too. Any number of top 10, top 15 prospect types were going to be in play for Manny Machado's services. And the Orioles chose not to do anything, thinking they could rebuild their team and roster on the fly and be good this year. The Orioles are, in fact, historically bad. They're on a record to lose, I think, 118 games, which is pretty just spectacularly bad. And then they didn't really get a top-end prospect. Diaz is good. Diaz has a great batter's eye and has shown an ability to get on base in the low to mid minors. But he's not the game-changing player that they probably could have gotten if they would have traded him in the offseason or last year's trade deadline. This is what you get sometimes for sitting on your hands and not knowing you're bad. If you're bad, you're bad. You make the moves. You get worse in the short term to get better in the long term. That's what baseball is. If you're not going to be good, you acquire assets to get yourself good in the near future. It's called tanking. It's called rebuilding. You can call whatever you want. The fact of the matter is the smart teams do it and the dumb teams don't. Orioles are a dumb team. They didn't make the move quick enough, and so they got basically just this buffet line of mediocre to nothing talent, which will, of course, look good in their system because their system was garbage anyways. But they really didn't accrue much in terms of talent when you think about what they could have gotten, further down the line. But that's what you get. That's what makes the good teams good. That's what makes the bad teams bad. All right, guys, it's been a quickie this week. If you want to catch me on anywhere else, you can catch my football gambling articles every week on footballabsurdity.com. You can check out my pro wrestling podcast with Geeks and Gamers over at geeksandgamers.com's Podbean account or on their iTunes account. And if you want to catch my stand-up comedy podcast, catch it at soundcloud.com/Tim and Brandon Show. Until next week, see y'all later, guys.